International Master, troll on a roll. International Master, troll on a roll. What's up, troll on a roll? So, let's see, what are we doing here? International Master Sparkle Horse. My rating is down in the 2400s. This is embarrassing. But I've been so busy, I haven't had time to play. Maybe some rated games, troll a little match. Chess 960 match. My Chess 960 is back under 2200. I had a draw with somebody last week that lost a lot of points. Maybe I had a draw with someone. It was like 1700, losing 25 points. Troll and a Roll is insisting on Chess 960. But I find the Chess 960 ratings to be really deflated versus normal ratings. There's like nobody with over 2400 in Chess 960. It tends to be a smaller pool. MK Pokey. Alright, the Eastern crew is here. So, Troll and a Roll, where are you? Kazakhstan? What is that? Palau. I don't even know what that is. Is that like a Pacific island or something? Alright. This is my warm-up game. Knights. To the center. The knights in the corner are the worst, but at least we don't have dual corner knights. Just one. Maybe like, I hate when they're both knights are on the corners. That's the worst. Alright guys, welcome. Fast Friday Blitz. The streams are actually being broadcast on lichess. Something got fixed. Which is one good thing. One positive thing happened today already. But, Chess 960. The great part is I can sit here forever. I can think like an unlimited amount of time on my first move. It's not very sportsmanlike. Occupation. What's your occupation? The occupation of the center. Welcome everybody to my stream. I'm International Master William Pascal. We are playing Blitz today, 5+3. No other time controls. Chess 960, not my favorite. I'm willing to tolerate it. No, I want the center, I said. It's a weird scotch. Perhaps we can get away with not castling at all. Just playing like h5. Liberating the rook. The standard rook lift with rook h6 that I learned in kindergarten. Actually, I didn't know how to set up. We did set up the pieces correctly, actually. I learned how to set up the pieces in like first or second grade. And I learned how they moved, but I didn't understand the rules properly. So c3. All about the center. Technically, like having the first move advantage shouldn't be any different in Chess 960 than it is in normal chess, right? I don't know. I don't know. It seems like stuff is becoming more fundamental in Chess 960. Opening loses more. I mean, theory loses importance, but the principles seem to be magnified or something. I don't know what it is. How to explain it. What if I violently try to open the position here with d5? Just probably a good choice against troll. d5, pawn takes pawn. Rook takes, bishop c4. That's like losing a tempo. Alright. This is about as passive as we can get. What am I going to do? What do you recommend there? I mean, d5? Challenging his center, but then losing a tempo with my rook? I mean, how is that good? Roy Lopez. Playing the Roy Lopez. Already I hate my position. Troll to roll, do you like spend your time practicing chess 960 openings or something? Do you practice against, can you practice against the engine? You seem to be so good in the opening stage. It's like really hard to even get out of the gate here with a playable position. Chess 960 opening expert. Very accurate. Oh no. Big fan of Grandmaster Ben Feingold. He's got the band. No. Wrong stream. We have to counteract it. MK Pookie Liam, welcome guys. We've got the Central Eastern European group. Slovenia, Bulgaria, Hungary represented. Troll from wherever he is. The Far East. Now, interesting question. Do we go to E7 or B8? Interesting question. What is my most memorable chess moment? I don't know. Probably winning a really strong tournament. Back in like 2001, I tied for first in the Foxwoods Open, which was like one of the stronger tournaments in the US. D5. In that tournament, I had to beat 2 Grandmasters with black in the last 2 rounds. That was kind of a memorable moment. I'm going to play this. Now we turn it into a closed position with a King's Indian type of structure where he's going to play for the avalanche style move. C4, C5. I still don't like my game, as usual. Very concerned about this. I've been better, you know, the chess world. Do I have something like Queen A4, some irrational tactical move? I give Troll too much credit. The thing is, I don't feel really good under the coronavirus lockdown. We can't go out. I mean, we can go out, but I mean, you can't do anything really. It's been hard and working a lot without leaving the house. I've been better. I'm anxious for the world to get back to normal. Like everyone else in the world, probably. Knight D2. Can I play F5 now? Is it worth it? I actually abandoned my own plan. I had a hallucination. I thought I was playing normal chess. This is really bad, but you start thinking you're playing normal chess and you start thinking that you have hallucinations that your pieces are on the squares they would normally be on. So I'm thinking my queen is on D8 and I'm going to maneuver bishop G5 here. Yeah, castling is good. But the trickiest thing about chess 960 is when you long castle when people don't expect it. That's the advantage of delaying castling in chess 960. The surprising long castle. So now Troll in a Roll makes an arbitrary decision. Maybe arbitrary is not the right word. I guess arbitrary is alright. Surprising decision. Frankly. Normal chess. Yeah. I've got Chess Beast Austria, but I don't do rated. Chess Beast Austria can just re-challenge me to casual. That's cool. I'm not taking subscriber challenges first. I do that Mondays and Wednesdays, but since it's repetitive, to mix it up a little bit. Yeah, nice try, Troll. I expected that move. Troll is the master of delaying castling here. He's not allowed to castle queenside anymore, right? Suspiciously good, this Troll guy. Very solid. My other job. The other job, well, everything I do is chess related lately. Don't ever grow up to be a chess player. I just do various things about chess. I mean, that's all I do. My only other job was playing poker, but I was sort of retired from that. So, full-time chess. So white's space advantage here. I mean, I have a college degree from a prestigious American university, but I was always doing chess. I never really wanted to get a mainstream kind of job, so I never did. Troll is such a good, solid player, man. It's tough. I don't really like playing f6, frankly. I feel very passive here. Just putting pressure on me. Knight f5, that's gone. Gone. Man. I don't know, we might have to have an investigation pretty soon. Investigation of Troll. He does make tactical mistakes sometimes, actually. He's so steady, though. Seems to have gotten stronger lately. How am I going to get out of this now? Damn, that sucks. I don't like when the little things pop up in the line of vision. Right when I'm trying to think. How do you like this queen trade? Which one do you prefer? Well, that doesn't force the queen trade. Well, I can't force the treen trade. It was really stubborn. He could have played rook d4 there. The treen trade. He blundered a family fork on d2 and just resigned. Or did you resign because you dropped your b2 pawn? Maybe you didn't see the fork. Tough game. Troll better the whole game until the very end. Surprisingly, the engine thinks that black's better here. I thought your space would compensate for the bad bishop, frankly. I think maybe if your bishop was on the right square, like on e2, where it was controlling my knight, you'd probably be fine. This is actually a big problem. The fact that my knight has these wild squares that you can't really do anything about. And also my knight coming to like c4 and back to d6 to blockade. Interesting. That was a tough opening. But, you know, I mean, do you really want to play f4 in that position? The engine agrees that you're better, but then you played f4. Like, we could have a long talk about attacking the head of the pawn chain strategically. I can't believe the engine wants to play f5 for black. I guess I'm actually ahead in development in some weird way. I'm castled and you're not. Still, that's kind of scary to play f5. I didn't even consider that move. Sometimes I want to cry. Me too. Me too, man. All right, Fatan is going to have to challenge to 5+3. I should put that... I'm sorry. I should put that in the... I'm going to change it so that we have that. I have the wrong text. My apologies, guys. I have to fix the text under the bottom of the screen so that it shows what we're doing here. I didn't get to that. We're playing 5+3, casual. Good game, Troll. Very solid. I can't say it's fun to play against you. I mean, I was better according to the engine, but I didn't feel like I was better. It's like trudging through a field of molasses or something, trying to play Troll. It doesn't feel very, very fun. That doesn't... I can't say I enjoyed playing that game, man. All right. MK Pokey. All right, let's play. So, I'm gonna warm up. We're gonna warm up. Yeah, he's just trying to be nice, Troll. Don't be mean. Symmetrical English. I should play knight f3, probably. That's... depends on what he does. Now, I had this position with black yesterday. Actually, we were analyzing yesterday in our subscriber stream this position. Jim had a game that he submitted after g3, d5. The Rubinstein English is a disaster for white. So we have to play something else, I guess. If you play g3, black plays d5, cd5, knight d5, and if you play bishop g2, black plays like knight c7. And as I showed, after thousands of games, like black is winning 31 to 30% at the master level. It's ridiculous. Black basically plays like the Marazzi structure. Alright, so this I looked at the other day, actually, briefly. I had a game with this guy, Roussel Rosemont, once. I've had a couple of games in this position. Bishop c4. I played bishop e5 and bishop c4. Bishop e5 is more aggressive. I mean, I've played other moves. You can just play d4. It's a Panov Caro. Probably d4 is the most formative move here, of course. Not a variation I like to play because after d4, cd4, ed4, bishop g4, we've got the freaking draw variation on the board. King takes, dc. That would be boring. Okay, I have to confess that I don't know a lot about this position. I assume that white is slightly better. I remember in the first Saturday in Budapest, maybe like 12 years ago, I had a game with a Canadian, Roussel Rosemont, and he played... What did he play, actually? Did he play knight takes c3? Maybe I'm thinking of a different position. I don't know. I don't remember that. Bishop g4. Yeah, bishop g4, it's looking like Okay, let me explain this in a different way. I think this is basically kind of like a Nimzo Indian reversed, in a way. This is a very aggressive move to try to play here for black. Maybe h3. h3 might be a mistake, but we'll see. Lazy move. I wanted to play queen a4, but I think it almost forces him to make a good move with bishop d7. Where's Asterbait today? Really weird not seeing him here. Guys, I have just the bamboo subscriber badge, but I'm going to try to implement other stuff. Don't worry. Okay, so it is possible to play g4. g4. I mean, this is good too. However, not that simple. I don't know about this, that I played this the best. I said I looked at it the other day, but I didn't look at it in any real depth. We just kind of talked about this position with bishop e5. So, I don't really want to trade, but I feel like I might have to. I don't know, my gut instinct is that he shouldn't trade queens here. It feels like the endgame is just better for white. The pawns, just I have this massive pawns in the center that's strong. The double Isolani aren't great. I've got the B file. But if you don't trade queens, it's not so simple. This looks like very unpleasant for black. We'll work on the 7th, bishop d6, bishop a3, castles. I mean, black is pretty screwed here. I just play bishop a3, castles, king e2, rook b8, rook b1. And I think the black is close to losing. In-game transpositions. This isn't possible. So what's he going to do? He has to play castles, king e2, rook b1. Black is almost in Zugzwang. Unless he has some kind of trick I don't know about. It might be possible to play a better move there, but I don't think so. Rook d1. Sorry, rook d7. So with this move, he's seeking some sort of other play. Nice. No problem. Other. Click the other box. Anyway, all right. Nowhere to go. D5 was bad? What are you talking about? We don't talk about ELOs. ELO rating. I always update my ELO, my latest ELO rating in my profile, but I don't know why I do that. A lot of people lie. Like, there seems to be a trend for young Russian FIDE masters to like put their FIDE Blitz rating under their ELO rating on their lichess profile. Like, that doesn't count. That's not your rating, you know. They're like 2280 in FIDE and like regular, but they have a 2490 Blitz rating. That's not their ELO rating. Sorry, but FIDE Blitz ratings don't count for your official rating. I'm down to like my lowest that I've been since honestly 1997, I think. Once I went down to 2330 in 2006 or something by some bad results, but I'm down to 2329, which is humiliating and ridiculous. I mean, I'm way better than that, objectively. But I have this habit of playing in stupid tournaments. I also give draws to little kids because I feel bad for them. Or I'm just lazy. But there's no way I should be that low. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, there are tons of people who are, I don't know, 50 points higher than me that are probably happy to take a draw if they can get one, you know? So, I had a long time off of chess, like for 6 or 7 years, and I never played a lot during that period, but A5 is a good move. I'm getting distracted now talking about ratings. Wait, maybe it's not a good move. I think I'm underrated pretty badly, but still, I played some tournaments that probably weren't optimal. This year already, like I played in 2 tournaments that are just not a good idea if you want to like gain rating points or something. But I can't afford to travel right now. I mean, I'm playing a lot of underrated players. I think we have like rating poverty here in my rating ecosystem. Like there's rating unemployment. What's going on today? We're playing Blitz. Just 5+3. And my rating is embarrassing. Alright. No, he's just lost. Couldn't find a defense. Now maybe I shouldn't say that, you know. Maybe there is a way he can hold this. But I mean, how's he gonna undouble this? I mean, not undouble this pawn. I'm probably like 75 points underrated. Honestly, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm 22.99 or 23.99 or 24.49. It doesn't matter. It's just meaningless. I mean, the one good thing would be if I could build my rating back up. The only benefit of having a good rating is that you might get into some good tournaments. If I seriously wanted to get a GM title, then my rating starts to matter. Because, I mean, I could get invited to some good events. For me, that's the only reason. The only reason why it's really important. MK Pokey, I've been making some bad moves here. This was atrocity. I should have played A4, like long ago. It was a very, very sloppy move not to play A4. I think maybe I would regret that move, actually. I wonder if A4 could be a mistake. Maybe I should have tried to wheedle my king around in there. Same color bishop endgames aren't that easy. Yeah, that's the problem. That's a problem. That's why he doesn't win his pawn on A5. It took me long enough to see that. Now it's just lost. I'm not really fully awake yet. I have all sorts of excuses. All right. I started playing chess in 7th grade. I was it was like, I want to say 1985, 1984. Probably 1984. Yeah, I think it was 1984. George Orwell had an influence on my chess game. Liam Morales, Chess Beast, Fatan. I do ask that everybody have like the 100 rated games. I don't want to play like new accounts that they just got created today. Yeah, I mean, I was saying earlier in the stream, I learned how to move the chess pieces and the setup of the chess pieces in 2nd grade. And we used to, like, when it rained at school, we used to play with the chessboard, like, during recess at school, in elementary school. But for whatever reason, like, none of my friends knew how to play chess properly, or at least the ones that I played with on rainy days at school when we were inside. And for whatever reason, I never learned the proper rules until 7th grade. I had a chess set at home that my aunt had bought me, and that's how I learned like how the pieces moved and stuff. But no one really knew how to play in my family, so there was nobody to teach me the proper rules. I just sort of taught myself how the pieces move and stuff. And then later, it was a long time later, basically like 5 years until I learned how to really play. So, Nimzo, yeah. I guess I like b6 the best here. Sometimes I forget and I'll play a different move order. But it was good. I mean, I'm glad I didn't learn how to play chess when I was in 2nd grade. I mean, then you become obsessed with just chess and don't get interested in other stuff. So I'm happy that I wasn't like a kind of chess prodigy or something. There's definitely like more stuff in the world than just playing chess. Sometimes I feel sorry for people who, start playing chess when they're like 4 years old and then never do anything else. I mean, for me, it was much later, and it was my choice. Like nobody forced me to play chess and pushed it on me. Totally up to me. So anyways, guys, we're taking challenges 5-3 through 5-3. Usually I play a range of time controls, but here I don't mind. Just the one on Friday. Let's try something different. I've played this Nimzovician style plan like against this opponent before, I think, with takes and knight e4. We're going to vary a little bit here with the Kolikotnowski. Where's Mr. Coffee? His favorite opening with white. We're just transferring to a Kolikotnowski. With black pieces, DK guy, welcome. Yeah, it's back on lots of good things. There are good things and bad things about lichess putting the streamers back on the front page. I don't know what happened. There were conspiracy theories. Queen b3. Interesting plan. Humpy Konaru. I don't know. I had some kind of Queen's Indian against her where I got this type of setup. I remember that. And I started trying to attack her with some knight e4, f5, g5, but it all like melted down somehow in a similar structure. She defended really well. So queen b3 is an interesting move, putting pressure on the d5 pawn. You have another positional idea there, which I'm not going to mention because I don't like giving my opponents hints. Now knight e4 drops the d5 pawn. But what is White to do now? Not so easy. I feel like he could have played knight e5 instead of queen b3, something like that earlier. Knight e4 is not possible, so without dropping d5, like we said. Not quite sure what I'm supposed to do here. Spectacular Camel, welcome. I don't know. You know, my theory was that, I don't know, Spectacular Camel, I don't know what happened. Maybe it's all just speculation. I'm just repeating what other people said. Maybe it was just a problem that could be worked out. Does anybody stream like on YouTube still? People stream on YouTube? I don't know. I would assume so. But lichess doesn't promote them. A4 is a cool idea. I want to play knight e4, but I can't figure out how to do it. C5 he takes. I could play C5 though, actually. I'd have to take with a knight, that's the problem. Is it worth it? Let's go for it. I changed plan here midstream. Can I trap your queen? Oh, we can trap the queen. No, unfortunately, b takes, queen takes b7, rook b8, knight takes d5. Oh no, I miscalculated. No, it's good. All right, but I give him the d4 square. Mr. Coffee. Mr. Coffee had this. We had this game we analyzed 2 weeks ago, where Mr. Coffee gave up the square in a similar structure. I would like to take with the pawn if I could. Black is pretty active here, frankly. Frankly, my dear, Black is pretty active here, but it's not 100% convincing. Not quite 100% convincing. If I take, it sort of eases the position a little bit. Knight on c5 is really strong. This thing is, I mean, it's possible that it's just stronger than a bishop. You know, it's a super knight. Mega knight. Not to be trifled with. Like, keep your little bishop. Put it back there. That's a good move. Okay, what was my plan again? Can we do like the Greek gift sacrifice? No. We're very active here. Programmers from lichess. I mean, I didn't like YouTube, you know, originally when I decided to stream, because at the time Twitch was smaller, and you know, YouTube is this like corporate entity. But now it's getting to the point where, I mean, everything is a corporate entity. Twitch was it's not the same as it once was, and it's a big company. Maybe I should come back for a second round. Do I really want to trade there? Why? Oh, you've got bishop a6. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That sucks. I lost kind of a large chunk of my advantage. We're still better. Was it Amazon in the beginning? Like 4 years ago? I mean, it was its own thing at one point. It had to be its own company at one point. It wasn't always Amazon. Amazon didn't create Twitch. It just buys things. No. It was its own thing at one point. Like all companies, they just get eaten by bigger companies. So what do I have here? Nothing? Queen e5? Wow. I have a very, very small edge. I think I was winning before. I was just up a pawn for nothing, and I dropped it back. It's a good battle. Just keeps making good moves. Starting to piss me off. Stop making good moves, okay? Like, I like how his pieces are sort of just dancing out there. No problem. That's good. Eventually something good has to happen for me here. But it's time. Damn it. Starting to panic. Well, a tough game. It was tough for a long time. I don't know where you went wrong. I mean, it wasn't easy. You had some weaknesses around the king side there. Here I was up a pawn. So at this point, I guess I'm just better spatially. I guess I was always better, but it's just as hard, man. Even with a better position. Okay, even here you could defend, apparently. Knight a3 is like the losing move. But it's hard. Black's pieces are all very well placed. Maybe defense is a relative term. Ash coat. Oh, okay. So thank you guys for all subscribing and being part of the stream. Looks like our stream is being broadcast on lichess again. That was down for a while, so now at least we have some viewers. I'm taking challenges 5+3 here. If you have 100 games, I'm not going to get to all these challenges. I only have until 1:30, but we've got the best part of an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. I'm going to take as many of these challenges as we can get to. Check out my streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I play Morales 17 in a while. He's got this opening repertoire that I hate playing against. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 here, like this. And Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays in the evenings, 6:30 CEST, Central European Summertime. So our next stream is going to be Sunday, Simul Sunday. This is a weird system. I've never really looked at this properly. It's the same every time I play Morales. That's how I'm gonna go back and look at his stuff, and I never get around to it. I'm still facing his openings and having a tough time with it when he's white. This drives me crazy. Knight F3. You've played stuff like F3 based setups in the past, I think. You can't do E5, can you? That's your favorite move. It's his favorite move in chess, playing E5. Just control the E5 square against Morales and you're okay. Osmirs. This guy, he can't make a good move. Oh, I forgot to tell my story about that. Yeah. I had a friend who played in a tournament with me 30 years ago. And I don't know, I was playing the open section and he was playing in like the amateur under 2200 section. And I'll never forget, like, he had this opponent who was this old master, but he was under 2200. His rating has gone down or something. And maybe it was 2150 rated. And my friend was playing him, and the game was tight, and he had to go to the bathroom. My friend had to go to the bathroom, so he left the board. It was his opponent's move. He had just been leaving the room, and he looked back to see if the opponent made a move, and when he looked back, like, the guy was just making his move and pressing the clock. You know, and he could go to the bathroom and think about his response while he was walking to the bathroom, coming back. And when he came back like 5 minutes later, the move wasn't there anymore. And the clock wasn't pressed. You know? And it was just funny. Put yourself in that situation. Like, what do you do? And my friend, who's not my friend anymore, I can't stand him, but that's another story. My friend at the time, he says to the guy, "You played Bishop A3, didn't you?" And the guy was just totally, like, in shock. He never imagined, like, this would happen. And he sort of, so he's, like, totally, like, unprepared for what to say. And on the spot, he's just like, yeah. And so, rather than, like, getting all like involved with the tournament director and stuff like that, my friend decided to just offer him a resignation. He was just like, well, do you want to resign? You know, or I'm going to go tell the tournament director what you did. Or something like that. And the guy was just like, huh. So, take care, Liam. So he just resigned. And it was like a long tournament. I think it was the Eastern Open, which was like a 7-round tournament in Washington, D.C. And the guys just like agreed, you know. And my friend thought it was funny and told me the story and how the guy just resigned because like he was like losing after his original move, and anyway his position was kind of bad. But the funny part of the story was this, you know, like kind of comic tragic. It ended up happening that like that guy like didn't lose another game in the whole tournament, and I think he ended up winning the section or tying for first ahead of my friend by like half a point or something. It's like kind of funny. I mean, I don't know what would happen if you reported him, if he had reported him for like cheating or whatever. I've had people try to take back moves against me and they never got kicked out of a tournament. Maybe at most they would be reprimanded or something like that. How he managed to win his other games? Well, he probably took back a move or two. Nefedov. I always lose to Nefedov when I sack the exchange. Here we go. Petrosian the Elder. Pliny the Elder. You don't have F4, so just don't even think about it. But I mean, it's one thing to like, you know, deny that it's touch move, right? Like Kasparov did. We've all had the temptation to do that. I mean, I think there's different levels of these things, you know. Everybody's been tempted to like not want to make a move or deny that they touched the piece or something. It's you know, pretty common. But to actually make the move, take it back and unpress the clock, that's like another level of cheating, you know. I mean, I could see like maybe the guy should be banned from the, I mean, he should be like kicked out of the tournament probably after that. It seems like a more serious crime, so to speak. What am I doing here anyway? Wish I had more time. Should I have played Queen C5 there? No. You don't want to do that. What? You're harassing me. This is harassment. Deep breath. All right. Keep deep breathing exercises going here. Somehow, even when he's like down material, you feel like you're losing against Morales. The confidence and speed is sort of unbelievable. And I think he's sandbagging his ratings. Resigns. Wow. Glazirov. That was hypermodernism. Yeah, that was only a draw. It was solid. It was fun though. I had some weird ideas. Play positional. Wait, what? I cannot play positional against you. I don't know what you call it. Do you play positionally or tactically? I feel like every game you're coming at me like you're throwing kitchen sinks at me, Morales. That's what you call you call like throwing kitchen sinks at people positional. I mean, it's like a very positional attacking style, yeah. Like, but I mean, I consider it like on a scale of 1 to 10, the ultra violence of your play is like kind of like an 8.5. You know, it's not like you're you're playing like a safe Kramnik style, you know, positional game there. But you know, I don't know. I mean, this is an interesting game. I thought I was in real danger, but I played this exchange sack. We could take a quick look at it. I think in the past you played bishop h6 there, and you didn't do it this time. Okay, you did it eventually. Funny, there's an actual game from 2000 with the exact same position. Your move looks better than knight g5. That's kind of weird. Maybe it's not bad. It's more constructive. Okay, this positional tactical thing is overrated. It's not, you can't just define people in 2 terms. Okay, this is a standard exchange sacrifice. I think you're fine, but the position is complicated. It's just good to beat you. I have the utmost respect. You're massively underrated. Chess Beast Austria. There was this guy, I'm not going to name his name. And he once... I have a game on like, you know, that website, like chessgames.com or whatever. We played a money game in the last round of the World Open, and I think I stood to win like $1,000, and he probably stood to win more. And like, basically what happened was, Chessbeast's name reminded me of this guy. That's why I'm telling the story. But anyway, later he like goes and posts on chessgames.com next to my game with him that I'm like unsportsmanlike and kick his feet under the table. I never, you know, and then all these people were like posting in the forum like, what are you talking about? He's a completely normal guy, whatever. But I realized it's like, people are crazy, man. I'm sitting there and the guy has like Doc Marten boots on and his legs are all the way under the table, across the table under my chair, while we're playing for this game for like $1,000. And, you know, I think he's like staring at me and his chair, you know, his feet are under my chair and it's just uncomfortable. And it's a lot of pressure because we're playing for money. So I think he's trying to intimidate me or something. I'm not going to like say like out loud, like, can you move your feet from under the table or something with other people watching. I probably like just tried to like bump his foot, you know, to give him a message, just like take your feet out from under my chair so he knows like it's bothering me. And then that becomes like I'm like gamesmanship and trying to kick his feet. He says I kicked his feet under the table. Yeah, if your feet are if your Doc Marten boots are under my chair all the way on the other side, like social distancing distance from me, I guess that's kicking your feet under the table. But whatever, weird. We're telling weird stories. Queen b3. A bizarre move here. I shared the other story about the guy who tried to cheat against my friend. I thought it was kind of similar, funny. My perception that I remember is that, you know, your feet were under my chair, Andrei Volokhin style. That's the third person that did that against me. It was Kryman, Boris Kryman, not really my favorite person in the world, was the first one. And then this guy, and then Volokhin did it against me. Yeah, I'm going to kick your feet if they're under my chair, like 5 feet away from where they should be. I guess so, you know. You also remember that Sladgie kicked my ass many times online? What are you talking about? I wouldn't do a thing like that. Chess Piece Austria, weird setup with the queen on b3 and e4 now. And I can't castle because of c5? What am I supposed to do? Okay, I mean, frankly, I'm playing a line. I don't know what got into me, but I'm playing like a closed English. I haven't played the closed English for black in 8 million years. Since like 1985. No, I used to play it once in a while, but I haven't played it since like the 90s. I mean, seriously. What made me play this setup for black? I have no clue. And I don't know what I'm doing with the queen on b3. How do I deal with that? Doesn't look right. It looks wrong. Queen b3 and e4 looks wrong. But maybe it's not bad. Can I do f4, Alexander Ivanov? pawn sacrifice. This is crazy, dude. Totally different position. Where even outdid this against me. This just looks like it's probably unsound, but we're gonna try it. It's a positional pawn sack idea that works in the Dutch sometimes. It might be good. Morales knows what we're doing. It's a bit much here trying this with black, but I think e4 is anti-positional and queen b3 is kind of weird. Standard Leningrad Dutch pawn sack. He touched his leg. Yeah, who knows what would happen today, but what do you do when your opponent has his feet camped under your chair, in a tense over the board chess match? I mean, probably if it had happened later, I would have done what I did with Volokhin, but I went and got the arbiter. But this is a big open tournament with hundreds and hundreds of people, and there's not so many tournament directors, and it would take me 10 minutes to hunt one down. It's a different situation than a round robin tournament where Volokhin did it against me. I could just go get the arbiter. It takes me a second and complain to her that this dude's messing with me. What do you do when your opponent hits the hardest clock as hard as he can in a blitz game? Well, I mean, that's a common scene in blitz tournaments. I guess you just say, don't hit the clock so hard. I mean, blitz tournaments are a little more informal than a tournament, than a long game, slightly. So, weird game. Seems like I have some compensation for the pawn. Where are your legs? His legs under the table. No, I mean, I just thought it's so messed up, and the delusional part is that the guy is actually deluding himself. He's created a new narrative in his own mind. I began to wonder, wait, maybe I really did that? But I was no, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I've played thousands of games. I wouldn't kick somebody's feet under the table without provocation. No, dude, you were the one with the boots under my chair. I don't think that's kicking your opponent's feet when they're under your chair. That's your space. There's no way you got to stretch out your legs 4 or 5 feet to reach under your opponent's chair. And it wasn't we were in some little school classroom where we're on top of each other. It was a conference room in a hotel with tons of room. I mean, big wide tables with plenty of space. And there's no way that that's a good distance. That just popped in my mind because Chess Beast, this guy's name was something with Beast in it, and I remember that. It made me think of that. He was a friend of mine, which is always awkward. When you hate one of your friends' friends. It's weird how that works. Put out his head under my chair, I would probably stomp on it. True. I didn't have the Doc Marten boots on though, dude. I had normal sneakers or something. He's got these heavy boots on, by the way. It's ridiculous. People are ridiculous. He was just nervous because he could win a big prize if he drew or won. I mean, I had been in that situation many times before. I don't think I was as nervous as him. This is starting to look pretty interesting. Yeah, you gotta play. You gotta stop f3. This could hurt. You might feel a slight pinch. It's just like going to the dentist. Well, it's really bad here, and probably the same in America or wherever you are. Yeah, social distancing. People just stand on top of you. I don't really like it. This will be mate. All right. No, the problem was like I've had that happen with the feet under the table with two, people who are under 18, and I can't beat up like children. But it's much better if it's an adult, then you don't like go to jail if you beat them up or something, like necessarily, like automatically. At least I can like get into a fight without it being, an under 18 chess player I'm beating up. The other two were little kids. Kryman was 14 when he did it against me, and Volokhin was like the same, or maybe 16 or something. All right. Fatan. Bear traps. That sounds fun. Mike Tyson. I'm sure he's a strong chess player. No. All right. D4. I don't think that Mike is known for his intellectual pursuits. D4, knight f6, c4. What am I playing? Yeah, I don't think he'd be a match for Arnold Schwarzenegger. How strong is Arnold? I wonder. Here we go again. We just had this earlier today against Liam. Different move though. Queen c2. Standard stuff. No, seriously, Lennox Lewis is a good chess player. Well, if we're going to talk about boxers past their prime playing chess, we would probably talk about someone who actually plays chess, right? So, not Mike Tyson. Bishop f4. Interesting. So what do I do here? Bishop e4 is possible. That's a weird move. Knight e4. I would just castle. Yeah, chess boxing is a thing, of course. Lennox Lewis would be into that. I mean, I think like that's about the time when chess boxing started to become an idea. Around the time when Lennox Lewis was boxing. He probably is aware of that. I don't know if he ever did any events of any sort, like literally involving chess boxing, but I would think that's when the time, like around when he was involved. maybe he contributed to the concept by promoting chess to some small degree. But I mean, you can have other things in chess. It doesn't have to be boxing. I like chess poker tournaments. E3. This is solid for white. Maybe I should play C5. That seems controversial. I never faced this exact setup and concretely thought about what I'm supposed to do. The bishop's outside the pawn chain, which creates an unusual situation. C5 is probably not that great for me because he has this d-file pressure. Maybe I'm supposed to play d5 and on d5 take back with the knight. I mean, this is one of many ways I could play this position. DK guy, what do you think? I don't feel right about this. Okay, like Klitschko, if you're from yeah, if you're from Ukraine, like I think it's like required to play chess if you're a citizen. Doesn't everybody like in Ukraine play chess? Klitschko has to play chess. It's like forced. You checked, he was blundering almost every second move. Yeah, but it's all relative. I mean, you know, he's pretty good compared to the other players on the block, I guess. It's all relative, you know, when you talk to people who don't play chess seriously, there's no concept of, they have no concept of how good a good player really is. They probably thought like Klitschko was a strong amateur player when really he's just like a total beginner. But still, you know, I appreciate that. It's the same in Hungary. A lot more people play chess than like in the United States. In Europe in general, one of the reasons people ask me all the time, why did you move to Europe? Why did you move to Hungary? You know, it's like, okay, well, chess is a bigger part of the culture here, you know, definitely. It's nice being a chess player in a place where people have respect for what you do. In the US, to a great degree, you know, maybe less so now than it used to be, but just chess is not considered a cool thing to do, you know. I think it's much less got that connotation in Europe. There are many grandmasters in Hungary. They're all unemployed. Yeah, I mean, Hungary has a huge amount of chess history, and there's tons of strong players. But I think that like it was like a factory for grandmasters at one point here. But lately, it's kind of faded a little bit. Wildly aggressive play by my opponent here. Knight g5, h4. I don't think it's justified. Not when he's castle kingside here. Hungary is a strong chess country. Hungary, Serbia, a lot of countries in this region. I mean, they're all good. But money is a problem. Hungary's not as wealthy as a lot of other countries. The tournaments we have don't have as much prizes, for example. The prize fund for a Hungarian chess tournament is much lower than a Western European country. So that factors into things. This is an interesting pawn sacrifice. My opponent is sort of giving up everything, but he's got some tricks if I'm not careful. Yeah, Serbia, only 3 GMs around 2,600. Well, I think the same thing's happening in Hungary. Like, we have lots of GMs, but no one is really epic except for Rapport, who's kind of a head case. There are tons of players in Serbia, though. Tons and tons, and Hungary is similar. What am I doing here? Queen h4. But I mean, you're not going to get as many strong players if there's no prizes in tournaments, and it's not worth it to do it eventually. When Hungary was like a socialist country, I mean, it was a different system. We've got a lot of countries that were former socialist countries. Chess players are no longer being like supported by the government at all, you know. Not that they ever were a lot, but not at all. So this move might be dangerous, to actually open up the Blobix mate on g7. I think the former, countries with former socialist governments are in trouble with the chess because there's no sponsorship from like corporate companies and stuff like that. Corporate companies, to be exact. At the same time, there's no government sponsorship. There is no sponsorship at all, I mean, for chess. So it's pretty tough. Zero. Yeah, I mean, look how strong the Soviets were. And they never made a lot of money like the chess players, but they had something, some kind of stipend from the government for professional chess players. Even that still exists to a very, very tiny degree today, but even Russia is not as strong as it once was. Chess is still very strong in the culture. All right, we're winning. But I think like the golden era for Hungary and Serbia and countries like that, is long gone in terms of chess. Now, like capitalist countries like the United States can dominate if they start to find more sponsors, like the St. Louis guy, the billionaire who sponsors tournaments. He's increased the level of chess in the United States. China has an incredible amount of strong players, considering like only 1/1000th of their population plays chess. But those guys are supported to some degree by the government. All right, let's go. Nah, too much exchanges. Black's just totally winning now. Too many pawns. Well, there's a lot of old GMs in Hungary too. And what are they going to do? Like, stream on Twitch or something? Like a 70-year-old grandmaster? You can hire a chess coach in Hungary for a really good price. That's my joke. Why did you move to Hungary? The new one is that I came here, so that my cost of living is lower, so that I can pass the savings on to my students. If I lived in the United States, I'm going to have to raise my rate to teach chess. because the cost of living is like more than double. So pass the savings on to you, the consumer. Yeah, exactly. Growing up in America, chess is usually a pastime thing to do with your dad. Sure. It's not like every taxi driver knows how to play chess. I mean, that's the way it is in Central Europe. You have like taxi drivers start a conversation on the way home from the airport. The average taxi driver here is like, oh, you're a chess player. I remember Bobby Fischer and Kasparov, and I don't know, in America, just like, forget about it. Like, 1 in 100 people knows what you're talking about. That's the cool thing about the popularity of chess here. The only FM in my town is a taxi driver. You see? That's what I said. Yeah, there was this guy, when I was selling my mother's house, I had to get a lock repairman out to my house in America. And I called some random number, and they sent out a guy, and he was from Azerbaijan. I started talking to him, and like, just a random guy from Azerbaijan, and he knows everything about chess. It's like, if he was from the West, forget about it. Like, he would know nothing. But yeah, I think those days are sort of a thing of the past, though. It's sort of a leftover tradition. Okay, we face this a lot against certain people. I don't know how this gets promoted into being a popular variation. Actually, bishop e2, it doesn't really help white that much in attacking these type of lines. You must live in a small town, Mr. Killy. If you're from Serbia and you only have one titled player. That's like the only town in Serbia with only one titled player. The most chess depressed. Hungary is very big on chess. I remember also Romania, all the Eastern Bloc countries. What am I doing here? I had this funny experience once. I went to a pub in a small town in Transylvania, and some guy had a chessboard, and he just looked like a total beginner. But I was bored, and I was like, oh, you want to play? And he wasn't playing for money. They were just, nobody had any money, and he was just playing for fun. Why do I feel like I'm down the tempo in this position? What is going on here? My bishop's probably on the wrong square. The bishop is an issue. This should really go to e6, attacking a2. Well, the funny part about the story about the guy in the Romanian pub was it's actually in Transylvania, so there's a lot of Hungarian Romanians. We're just in this poor pub, and I see this guy with the chess set, so I agreed to play him. But it was embarrassing because, like, okay, there's no clock or anything. It's just like he doesn't have money for a clock. We're just whatever. I'm playing for fun. And the embarrassing thing was, like, he set up the board sideways. But, I'm a guest in this place, and I don't want to be, and he's like, oh, he's got to be a total beginner. I don't want to be like a Mr. Know-It-All. So I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll just not even tell him that the board is set up sideways. We'll just play with the right square on the dark square on the right instead of the white square on the right. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And I'm thinking, like, this is going to be, horrible at crushing this guy. And he actually beats me. He doesn't even know how to set up the board right. I mean, it would be one thing if I thought he was, like, trolling me trying to hustle me for money or something. But it wasn't, there was nobody playing for money. This is just literally how he thought that you play chess for his whole life. They've been playing like it didn't matter which way you turned the board. And my assumption was that like he was just horrible. He didn't even know how to set up the board. But he still, I didn't play well, but I didn't take him seriously. And next thing I know, I was losing. And I lost. That was funny. That would be a good hustling trick, though. Mike Borst, your play is a little bit beyond the 1400 level. I think I mentioned this last time. You're playing the open like a GM. This h4 looks like a dangerous line. I've been reluctant to go into this against other people. In fact, even not castling a lot of the time. I think that black is already in some danger here. Maybe I can play h5. Maybe I have to play h5. Not always good in the Yugoslav dragon, but probably a good idea here. Though I'm still going to come under fire. If you're not playing chess without the clock, is it fair not to make a move if you feel you're losing? It's the problem. You would see chess hustlers do that, like in Washington Square Park. Typically lose the first couple games on purpose and then start playing for money like really hard. It's a hustler thing from pool and other games. Do I have knight takes e4 now? I do. Mike's opening play is way beyond the 1400 level. Okay, so, typically you're going to play f3, g4 now. I would play f3, knight e5 and see what's happening. I don't really like black's position there. Two pawns of one square. Sounds like a Hungarian translation I saw yesterday. We should get you to do some translations, Blobix. Play my first move playing two pawns of one square. You're putting two pawns on one square? I'm just kidding. We understand what you mean. He's saying, c3, c4. Like you don't know the pawns can move two squares. You better be sorry. I'm sorry for my non-existent French. Your English is better than my French, man. That was horrible when I played just 1.5 seasons I played for a French team. I couldn't speak a damn word. And it was so awkward. It was easier for me in Russia. At least I knew a little bit of Russian because I studied. But in France, I was like hopeless. I could say thank you. Maybe 2 words. Merci. No, I'm just kidding, Blobix. There was this really bad shop translation that someone posted on my Facebook yesterday. There's like a rule that you can't go in the stores if you're between, if you're over the age of 65, you're not allowed to go in the stores after 12. You have to go in the stores between 9 and 12. And some shopkeeper had put up this sign that had been supposedly translated into English, but like it was just jumbled, like as jumbled as you could do it. It was insane. All right, we got the B2 square under control. I'm going to induce some more weaknesses. Yeah, you're going to continue in French. I feel like better. Morning, someone on sound. Long time no see. See, I can speak Spanish and Russian a little bit, and Hungarian. We had 3 languages you could learn in my high school, maybe 4. If you got on the short bus, you could learn German, but then you'd have to wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. French was one option. Spanish was an option. And like, I think Italian. But almost nobody did Italian. So it was either French or Spanish. Nobody wanted to wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning to learn German. You had to go to another high school. If you wanted to learn German, there was only like a bus that would take you to another school. So I chose Spanish. I'm sorry, Blobix. French is close to Spanish, right? Where's the mate? This is a good one. Where is the mate? Bishop G7, Knight D4. I don't think I played this right. Mike fell apart after making that first blunder. He has a really good game. I like this for white. So check it out. Hey, maybe I'm not an idiot. All 3 people, 2 of them extremely strong players. I don't know who Rios is, but Morozevich and Gustafsson both played H5. So my instincts are good. See, Daniel Dubov against Li Chao, Karyakin Morozevich, and Lizzie Pates against Gustafsson from 2014. F3 is the move. You got to play F3. And now Knight E5. And some nutcase even played G4. But I don't know if that works. Yeah, this is a sharp position. It's really dangerous. I don't know. White has scored some points here. But the losers were losers. No. Pascal is a good guy. He's fine. That's probably Olympic game, 2004, playing for Canada. So this is a critical position. You know, your move Bishop G5 right away is a good idea. You just needed to play F3 first. See, they did that now. Just play F3 first. Make sure this is protected. And now Bishop G5. I feel like white's better here, but the computer doesn't agree. Guys, we have 45 minutes left, Bruce Wayne. 45 minutes left. And I'm only going to take a couple of challenges, so I don't think someone on sound is going to make it. Hey, it's Miro. I mean, the most I'm going to get to is like 5 games. I'm sorry, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And please support the stream if you can afford it. Make a donation or subscribe to help me keep doing this. Bring the knowledge to the impoverished public. Bruce Wayne, 1098. You have 1,000 million games? Alright, he's got 100 games. I just watched The Joker. I'm like the last person in the world to watch Joker. It's one of those things I just kept telling myself, I'm going to watch it. And I never got around to it, but I finally did. I'm not a big fan of like DC comics and superhero stuff, really. I don't watch like. I like Batman, it's alright. Yeah, the recent Joker. The one, with Joaquin Phoenix. But just made me think of Bruce Wayne. It's a good movie for, by today's Hollywood standards. It wasn't stupid, Almost every major Hollywood movie just degenerates into something totally stupid, usually. And it stayed together. It just didn't degenerate into like a it sort of did have a Holocaust at the end, but not completely. I appreciate when it's a little bit realistic. It was a well-made movie, whether you like it or not. That's my movie review for the day. It's worth watching. One of the better movies I've seen recently. I'm not going to take your exchange, Bruce Wayne. I have a thing for bishops. Your shin pads. I don't want to hear any more about that. Not on my stream. So, about to ask, what is Black plan here? And then your opponent started giving you material. Yeah, he's 1,000. If he plays Rook B1, yeah. But if you are going to sack the pawn, you ought to at least play Bishop H6, so I can't castle. The computer will say I should take the exchange. I don't see any reason to do that. This is one of the first things I touched on, like 4 or 5 years ago when I started streaming. I was thinking about that yesterday. Have I been streaming since 2016? So 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, okay, 4 years. I was scared because I started thinking, like, was it 5 years? It can't be 5 years I've been doing this. I've been doing this for like 4 years. That makes sense. Since 2016. One of the first topics I remember talking about, one of my early streams, was like, if I win a pawn, I don't even want to take that exchange. Because this is practical stuff. One pawn in this position should be enough to win the game. Why do I want to risk giving up my dark squared bishop and giving white a chance to win the game? Because my king's safety is compromised. I would take that exchange if I'm not up a pawn, maybe. But if you're already up a pawn, you should have enough material to win. Why risk losing by weakening your king position? And it also goes back to people overvaluing material, Material is like easily the most overvalued sort of advantage in chess, right? Someone on sound? What do you think? You would agree, wouldn't you? The most overrated. So, Jim, I'm trying to remember your game from yesterday. We might say, someone on sound, that you have a little bit of an issue. I wouldn't think you reached the Joker's level, but we all have our fetishes. Someone on sound has a thing for sacrificing pawns for the initiative. Everybody has to have their thing. I have things too, but on that subject, we've all got to be careful not to become stale and stop thinking, and being too routine about the way we play. Well, I mean, for that matter, we can apply that to anything. As I get older, I realize more and more, that I have a tendency a dangerous tendency to stop being creative. Maybe we'll just put it like that. But I've seen it with a lot of my students. Primarily, people become too reliant on like certain themes that they use over and over again. That can be an opening, certain motifs. But one of them, like someone on sound, for example, he's great at what he does, but he's kind of one-dimensional. And to be a greater player, someone on sound needs to learn how to do other stuff. Well, he realizes this. There's only so much time. You're good at what you do, man. But to be a complete player, you have to learn to play other ways, too. Padron Antoni, a thoughtful person. I was thinking about piece value in terms of positional versus actual potential. Value is the value attributed to the pieces by the normal pawn. Wow. My head hurts. He's a scientist. These guys are scientists. Someone on sound. Padron Antoni. Not everyone is a scientist. W.J. Loof. Scientist? Or cave explorer? Mine explorer? Alright. Rook on BB1. The reverse Alekine's gun. Is this the way it's supposed to go? My rook should be on d6 and my queen on d8. The dark square bishop has obviously a lower potential value than the rook. Okay. But he has a way higher actual value in the position given. Practical approach to... Yeah, I mean, I think that our traditional way of evaluating positions needs to be... Let me put it this way. We have this center pawn loss from the computer, but I'm not sure that's like that useful for people. Well, he's doing a good job for 1,000. Knight h4 is an awesome move. Putting up maximum resistance, really. Finding that one weakness. Playing knight h4. Stopping at 5. Well, I mean, 1,000, maybe he's just not that good at tactics. It's amazing how deceptive ratings are, too. I'm getting this a lot, people who play really well, then they make like one tactical blunder. Our last opponent in the Dragon, Mike, played the opening, not like the Grandmaster level. He overlooked one tactic and started to fall apart. That's easy to fix, though. I think tactics are the easiest thing to improve. He's not a beast at tactics. Bruce Wayne is more of a maneuvering player, but still, I think he's better than 1,000. 1,000 is really, really, really low. He has no chance in a match against Botvinnik, of course. I'm really having a hard time breaking through. Even this recapture is kind of tricky. He's like excellent positionally for 1,000. Tactically, not so much. Yeah. But that's unusual, frankly. You know, I mean, the vast majority of people who are rated 1,000 are probably totally clueless in strategy, you know, and maybe they have a little bit of tactics. Because as I said, like, tactics are easy to learn. Anybody can do puzzles on a chess site and improve their tactics. Strategy, not so easy. Not so easy to work on and improve. Yeah, someone on sound. I mean, Peter Balkus rating with a party of 4. Balkush. Thank you. Good to see you, man. But I'm surprised like how psychotically aggressive most of my opponents are, actually. But I mean, I'm a guy who I played like 100, I don't know, maybe not that many, but I've played probably in the neighborhood of 50 Grandmaster round robin tournaments in slow chess. Like literally close to 50. I'm still probably exaggerating, 40. I don't know how many, but a lot. A lot. Like 40 at least. GM slow tournaments where it's like 10 players, everyone plays everyone, with the average rating is over 2,400 FIDE. I mean, when you're used to playing at that level, you can't be like psychotically aggressive every game because everybody's good, you know? I'm surprised when I play on lichess. I mean, I naturally had to develop a very strong defensive ability, you know? They say that Karpov is so good at defending because he didn't learn openings. So he was always at a disadvantage in the early stage of his career. His coaches didn't teach him openings as well as the other kids at chess school. So it changes the way you play. But if you play stronger players all the time, you're going to become kind of beat down and defensive, but maybe really good at defense. I'm just surprised here online. Yeah, everyone's aggressive, wildly aggressive. Not everyone, but it's a lot, you know. The level of aggression is extremely high. I mean, I am generally going to be more aggressive against weaker players and less aggressive against stronger players. I don't know. I think that's just an instinct. I mean, if you get into a boxing ring against like a super aggressive fighter, you're going to be like, you know, kind of cautious, I think. All right, so here we go. H3. Bishop G5. I was just thinking the other day, man, it's ridiculous. Like nobody plays theory against me on here. I have no way to practice like opening theory. I haven't played this variation with Bishop E7 in a long time. I used to play it back in the day. It's gone out of fashion. What happens if H6? H6, Bishop F6, Bishop F6. Knight C6 or Knight B5. I don't know the theory of that line. Let's just stick to something that I knew. Astrobate's not here today. got the sun. A little bit of rain last night. It never rains anymore. The air quality here in Budapest is kind of bad because across the street they're doing like a huge construction project in the city park, and there's like all this dust in the air, and it never rains. People are getting like asthma from it. F4 main line, okay. So now I was looking at this position. H6 is a move that I never played before, but I was thinking about it. I have an old book by Plugievsky, I guess, on the Sicilian. I looked at this 20 years ago, but I decided not to play it. I favored just knight takes d4. I used to play knight d4, queen d4, queen a5. This is like the main line. But the inclusion of h6 is interesting. If only I remembered what I'm supposed to do now. I think it's e5 in that book. This old tactic probably doesn't work for some reason. I'm supposed to play e5. But I'm going on like 35-year-old theory here. My reference is a book from 1980. Actually, that's 40-year-old theory. I have a Peter Wells book from 20 years ago. 15 years old? I don't know, 20 years old? Yeah. He probably discussed this. I don't remember what the deal is. Knight f5 is a move, but I just take it. And then I can take on f4, but I never studied this. The main line, Stefanos, is h4. You're supposed to play h4. I remember that clearly from both of those books. And then taking the piece is extremely complicated. It can be done, maybe not right away, but later on. Yeah, that's the critical line. I don't know what the deal is with this. He's supposed to play h4. It's like established. I never played that for black. I've never played h6 for black. Probably it's under a cloud, theoretically. So knight f5, bishop f5, that's all I know. All I know is I'm threatening to grab this pawn in some positions. Many, many years ago, in 1999, I played Hikaru when he was a little kid. And we had this variation with f4, knight takes d4, queen d4, queen a5. And he messed up at some point. He was only like 2300. He messed up at some point and dropped the pawn, and he swindled me to a draw. He was clearly worse. That was the first time I played him. I think it was 99. They always do that, though, like the super grandmasters, when they're little kids against me. The first game, they always have a lost position and swindle a draw. That's how I know they're going to be like World Championship caliber, or 2700. Luke McShane did the same thing against me twice. He didn't quite reach Hikaru's level, but I guess I could take with a bishop here. But this isn't critical. Black is okay in this position. We don't have any issues. Plugievsky said in the analysis of that book that I'm talking about that the knight f5 is the key. The key try, I guess. I think I play bishop f5, ef5, and knight d4. Or maybe no, I take on f4. Black is slightly worse, but it's not a big deal. Probably. Give me your queen. It'd be fun to see you training a gamer streamer too. I would like teaching, like a gamer streamer. I don't like bishop g4, but I need to do something. I mean, it's possible white still has a very, very small advantage here, but it shouldn't be necessarily great. I was wondering if I can play like bishop e4 at one point and try to go for that pawn here. My instinct is that it's equal, or white has an infinitesimal advantage. Both sides have an isolated pawn or two. I have two. He has just the one at e4, but his isolated pawn is vitally important. Some strategic factors here too, like I might have knight d5 or some sort of exchange of dark square bishops. Even here, like bishop d8 is an interesting idea. This is like more fundamental. Yeah, now what to do? If I play bishop h5, my bishop starts to get really screwed under the side of the board. My original plan was to play bishop h5, bishop g6 to put pressure on e4. Maybe it's okay. It also protects, but I would consider playing bishop c8 in this position. I'm also guarding f7. I think I mentioned that. Now I might have knight d5 at one point. If I could exchange the dark square bishops, I'd be happy to trade those. The other plan is just to play something like king f8 and unpin myself. Like king f8, knight d7, get me out of here. But Stefanos uses time because he wants to play best moves. And that's what I try to teach people to do. Maybe this is overrated, this pin here. Bishop b4. I mean, this like getting double pawns, it's no big deal. I'm a little worried about my bishop on h5 now, g6, whatever. Yeah, I missed rook d2. I wasn't paying attention. That could have been a really strong move. I have h5. Oh, he's going to go for the b file. Oh no. So this is a terrible disaster. Bishop d3 does everything. It protects e4. It blocks me penetrating. He has a clear plan now. Damn. I have to keep him busy. What? He just freaked out. You can't do that. Now we can just defend. We're winning on the king side. g5 was insane. He can't do that. You want my pawn. It's not nice. Not the nice. All right. Could he have played rook? No. He's found the sleazy concept here. All right. That's annoying. should wrap it up. Jim, thank you for the donation, sir. But he went crazy with g5. I wonder if he can hold this position somehow. Here, move 24. It's not like it's time to panic yet. You know, g5, you're panicking. White is only slightly worse. You might be able to hold on. But theoretically, you see here, h6. So I'm actually wrong. I am occasionally wrong. His move, correction, is the main line. All right. I seriously thought h4 was considered to be the main line. Even Gary played this in 95. That's weird. Jim, thank you for the donation, 200 bits. Thank you guys for supporting the stream, for subscribing. We had a couple resubs recently. I'd like to thank No Problem at All for the gift sub. We had Mr. Slow, 1,200 bits for the week. Blobix with 1,000. Jim with 700 now. Thank you guys to everybody for supporting the stream. WJ Loof today as well. Barons in Chess, Alexander, Osmirs, and Coach Ah. This was a fun position, though. I never get to play. Bishop h4 is the main line since like 1986. Blobix knows everything. I thought h4 was the main line. That's the one that scares me anyway. I would play this if it wasn't for h4, you know, which is like mind-boggling and scary. e5, knight f5. But I guess white is better here. The engine doesn't think so. Give it some time, though. Bishop f5, ef5, and this is Karpov Kasparov from 84. I didn't even know. This white's slightly better, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have a white square bishop and I don't, you know. With that white square bishop, so king v1, the secret move. Now white is just better. If black could only trade like his dark square bishop off. Anyway, guys, let's get some more games. The line after knight takes c6 doesn't look like a big deal. It's a move. Karpov played it against Larson and won. You didn't exchange queens. I mean, rooks here. What did you play now? Bishop c4. So I played the best move. Black doesn't completely equalize here. Fontaine played rook d3. Or Blobix's. I think I played that guy, Christophe Bernard, in the French team championship. Now that I think about it, it was a rouser. I'm pretty sure I played that guy in my 1.5 seasons in the French team championship, ironically. So it's not clear that white has anything here. Not really as good. All right, Mr. Kick-Ass. Uh-oh, I better be careful. Language. You too. Mr. Kick-Ass from Serbia. Guys, I've only got time for like 2 more games. A lot of our friends we're going to have to pass. Blobix not today. I don't think someone on sound is going to make it. I'm not taking the subscribers first. It's Friday. I like to encourage new people to play on the stream. So you know everybody, but I'm thinking that this is not the same guy. There was another Bernard. It's a very common name in France, I guess. This guy was younger. Another 2300 named Bernard, unfortunately. He wasn't old enough to know Blobix. Got to be pretty old. Gets his new folks to beat up on. Now I'm feeling pretty warmed up. We're playing e4. The Emery Tate variation. I remember the look on de Fermien's face when he played this. They had a game in the World Open or something, and Tate loved to play Queen f3, but it's just not really correct, you know. Bobik's pushing 49. I'm 39. Pushing 40 again. Queen f3, just to throw you off. Not supposed to be a great move. This is a product of, it's probably like an invention of Andrew Carkland's or something. Tate was from the Midwest, and we have a lot of old school masters in America. One of them was this national master, FIDE master, Andrew Carkland's. He played a lot of interesting, weird stuff. And Emery was from the Midwest as well, so he borrowed some of Carkland's ideas sometimes. I think de Fermien played g6 when faced with queen f3, and I think this is a good idea. If you play the Najdorf and someone plays queen f3, transfer to a dragon where the queen is kind of weirdly placed. Although I doubt this is a bad move. I doubt queen c7 is a bad move. I don't know anything about what I'm doing. I'm just making it up. Emery knew what he was doing. He had all these coffee house sort of systems worked out really deeply. Really deeply at home, and then he would play it. Even if it wasn't sound, he knew all the tricks and stuff. I'm just throwing this out there. Just throwing it out there. I actually don't know much about the bishop g5 Najdorf. I guess we're transposing. Challenge to 0 plus 4. The 0 plus 4. Caro-Kann player. He's a Caro-Kann player. And he's playing the Najdorf. I don't really want to castle queenside. Do I have to castle queenside? So if knight d5, pawn d5, queen c5, hitting my pawn and hitting my knight, then I would probably have to castle queenside. And then he has like bishop b7. And it's starting to get weird and creepy. I'm losing my d5 pawn. So I don't think that knight d5 is right. Castles queenside is clearly a thing. But it's double-edged. What am I supposed to do? Positional. The positional approach. How does this work? I mean, he's not developing his king side. That's the problem in the Najdorf. If you don't play e6, some sort of knight bd7 lines, sometimes you drift for a long time with your king still just in the center of the board here. Black clearly has to be careful about that. Though, I mean, I can just sacrifice the pawn on d5 for time. Again, I'm inclined not to castle queenside at this point. Definitely thinking about castling kingside. This is non-theoretical. I have no idea what this is. Now we have a problem with the d5 pawn, as expected. If I castle queenside, my king is in danger. But I have f4. Kind of weird move in a way. An oldie but a goodie. I don't know, guys. Do we want to play f4? Really? What would Acerbate do? He would just castle. No fear. Just castle. Give you the pawn. It's a whole pawn. Someone on sound, how do you feel about this pawn sacrifice? f4. I'm concerned about my bishop after f4. It seems weird to play rook e1. Because I wanted the rook behind the f-pawn, actually. Probably I should pull the trigger on f4. I was worried about ghosts and stuff. Dead Mouse. Famous Dead Mouse song. Ghosts and stuff. But it's a serious concern, ghosts and stuff. Ghosts are a problem. And I don't like this now. I look ridiculous. Why did I play rook e1? Knight f5 is a thing. It's a real thing now. Yeah, that's gone. I don't mind parting with my white square bishop in this position. That's my bad B. We have a good B and a bad B. Bad B versus good B. All set. But still, black's position is pretty sound. I don't know, I'm not into like electronic music that much, but I like Dead Mouse. I surprised myself. Yeah, he's Canadian. So, yes. Knight f5. Correct. You can just take on d4. OMG. I'm starting to get kind of pissed. But what's someone on sound do? Would you play bishop f4? No. I'm lucky if I'm not lost here. I forgot he's 2100. I'm treating him like he's a 1600 or something. I forgot how high rated he is. He's not a joker. He's not the Joker. Cormoran. Yeah, it's a weird position. I'm not used to playing so many wild, maniacal style games like this. I guess we'll just sack a piece. Pray I didn't miss some tactic or something. Looks pretty good. Actually winning. He must have had something better. Bishop e6, maybe. Don't tell him. At which point? Time for one more game. It doesn't look sound. This pawn sack, the engine likes my position, but queen g3 not the best. Castles was good. And this move is a lemon, but I'm still okay even after rook fe1. So I should have played bishop f4 right away. That's hard to play, because I was still hoping to play f4. Apparently I'm totally good. This position. I had the b3 idea. Did he miss something? I have a nasty tactic there. Bishop e5 followed by knight c6 check. Yeah, he's better here. It was a mess. Good game. Fun. I don't know. Not easy to play. Nothing was that clear in that game. I gotta go, guys, so I'm not gonna take the Blobix challenge. Someone on sound, you guys. You guys are good. I gotta go. I'm sorry. I love you guys. But we'll play some 04 later, Blobix. Gotta eat my lunch. Get to work. Was I deleted? You're deleted. I know, but it's 04 bullet. That can last forever. How long can an 04 bullet game go? We could play all day. 60 moves? What's 60 moves of 8 seconds apiece? Like, they could last like 8 minutes. Have you ever lasted 60 moves before? This is really bad for black. Structurally. You like 100 move games. Only if you're winning, though. No. I don't change piece. We keep pieces on board. Okay, black is worse here, but it's not so easy for white to win. Yes, he has an awful duo of hanging pawns. But, you know, winning this kind of position is not so simple. I like my decision not to trade knights. Like, some people would subscribe to knight takes c6. Maybe Mikhail Tal would play knight takes c6. I don't know. Because it's like more expedient. You don't waste time. You just get your pieces out as soon as possible. I suppose there's something to be said for that. Bishop f4, knight h5, like, you're asking for it. Yeah, I don't know what to do. It's a Tarrasch French with my knight on c3. It's actually not that bad. What does white do now? bd2. Exclamation. Bishop d2, exclamation point. Miguel Bela. Oh, you want my bishop, do you? I can even deal in that. I can deal with the bishop. Your bishop is not looking too healthy. You can have mine. You can have yours. Okay, it's still maybe the right plan for him to try to trade off pieces. But black's still worse. Nimzovich. We have very control of the center. I studied English with Blavix. No. Most French people don't even want to speak English at all. Blavix is willing to try for the sake of our stream. I appreciate it, man. So queen takes c4. Stop threatening stuff, please. My pawn here. b2. How do I defend my pawn? Do I really have to worry about that? What would Nimzovich do? Bishop e3, queen b2. He can really take it, and I don't have any threats here. What am I going to play, like b3? That's ridiculous. Can't play b3. But I have a very small advantage. I can't just be like handing him pawns. It's not like it's like the last game. It's not like the last game where I'm playing for a mating attack against his king in the middle of the board. I mean, this position, I have a very small advantage with that Isolani on e6 and a little bit of development. But I don't know how to give him a pawn, you know, and really have anything. Maybe I have knight g5. It's just like the last thing in the world I want to do is let him trade off his stupid bishop. This feels wrong. Like I'm just helping him. What is the right move here for white? Maybe something crazy like knight e4. Yeah, you're afraid for f2. Well, I've got a rook there. I could have played bishop e3, queen b2. I just don't see what I'm doing. I'm sure there's something, like I have enough compensation for the pawn. This is crazy to play queen h4. That's not normal. Maybe I have to play this like b3. How pathetic is that move? That's horrible. And now he's developing. And now queen a5. Alright, whatever. Bishop b5. Give me pawn. What about that move? And then that move, and then that move. What if I sacked the exchange on d7? Did I miss that? Would that have worked here? No. No, no. Not with this queen on b6. Don't like your f2. I don't like your pawn. What pawn? My pawns are inoffensive. That's going to be an issue. Later. Later, alligator. What do we do? What do we do? This is going to be a serious issue. All right. Now I'm seriously concerned. I'm going to lose the exchange to bishop b5. I'm so disappointed with the way this game has gone. I'm serious now. I guess I see one thing I can do if worse comes to worse. I'm just very disappointed I don't have almost anything. I really like the opening. I was like crushing him. You're canceled. Sorry guys, I can't play any more games. I gotta go. Thanks everybody for watching the stream in advance. Money's on me. I'm a little bit weary after 2.5 hours. Stamina is not what it used to be. That's what they tell me anyway. Prefer to call it warmed up. That's funny. I was expecting rook c8. This is a really conservative move. Lingering threats. Oh my. Oh my. Like, the pieces are sort of precariously placed here. But bishop e5 is not allowed under any circumstances. You can't play that. Actually, I have this, so... Alright, that's fine. New and fertile ground to cover. What are you doing over there, Mr. Knight? What is Mr. Knight doing? Seriously. Be very careful when your opponent makes a move and you have no clue what they're doing. It's usually a bad sign. In poker, that's usually extremely dangerous. It means they have the nuts or something. If you don't have a clue what they have, like, my general rule of thumb is that they have the nuts. I don't know what I'm doing, but when I see a move I don't understand, it makes me nervous. I could have played 95. My favorite move, wow. Okay, I'm going to lose on time. Damn. Hopefully this doesn't lose a piece to rook f4. Be very careful when your opponents make moves you don't understand what they're doing. I guess most of the time it's just a blunder and they don't have a clue, but once in a while you're just missing something obvious. So be careful. He's made some slight concessions, and now white is better. Famous last words. Cagey, though, he's not trading pieces. It's like he's playing for a win. In a position where I would imagine, like, normally he's gonna try to draw. Lasker Steinitz, 1894. Oh no. It's very similar. Game 1. Montreal. Let's play G4. I don't know that this is winning, though, by the way. Is it guaranteed? Now it's guaranteed, isn't it? That's a bad decision. I am winning, right? I mean, pawns on both sides of the board. I imagine if there are no pawns on the queen side, the king side might be one of those weird theoretical draws. But here, that's not happening. All I need is one pawn on the queen side. That wasn't the most accurate. It's fine. See you later. Good thing it's not a rook pawn. "60 moves. See what I told you, Blobix? Standard. Standard 60 moves. No draws. Alright, anyway, that was fun. Good technical exercise. It was a good game. Black defended super well till the very end. Anyway, guys, I'll see you later. Simul on Sunday, Mr. Someone on Sound's favorite event. Our flagship event, the Sunday Simul, 6:30 CEST here on lichess. Thanks everybody for subscribing. And don't forget, what's up, man? Fix your mouse. Fix your mask. Hey, don't forget, Sunday, 6:30 CEST. Okay, bye-bye. Later, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.